Hi, welcome back to Sharon from Vivid Days. I hope you had a wonderful day today, whatever you were doing. I've come home from a day's work and I am chasing the sun, so I've got artificial light. I do apologise if you get in the glare, but I will bring you in for a close-up. I have prepped my canvas. I am working with a canvas that is 24 by 24, a stretch canvas by Dalla and Rowney. I have put some cardboard underneath to protect my canvas from sinking when I apply my resin. What you can see on here is just acrylic paint, black and white. I've gone for a grey graduating background, and as I was playing with it I started to get this little texture and colour and image that came, and I actually really like it. So I'm going to do something really different with my resin. Instead of covering it all at once, I'm going to see if I can add little bits over time. And I'm going to see if I do that, can I do fine detail with resin with the colours and the particular movement I want, and then come back and add the clear later. So this is going to be a total experiment, but I've got this image that I want to work with. So an example will be, I want to define black line of resin just up here, a very thin line but a defined line to help with that depth. Now if I do that with a black line and resin and come through with others, I'm curious to see what will happen. Will it stay true to the what I'm trying to do, or will it spread out and flatten? And also, can I continue to add different colours and layers? So I might want blue going up here and black here, and create this beautiful, I think, abstract image, and then come over with clear. So come on this journey with me and let's see how we go. So yeah, let's start this. So I am going to be mixing my pasta class 1+1. I'm just going with just slightly over 100 mils to start with, because as I'm going to be applying it in thin stripes, I'm imagining I'm going to run out of time and I don't want to waste any resin. So I will mix a little bit, so this will be mixed for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to start with my black, silver and white colours to start with, because I know that's where I want those to be mainly. And then if I've got the time and any resin left over mixed up, I'll come back and start to gradiate in my blues. I will cut this bit out or fast forward this bit because you don't want to watch me mixing this up for 3 minutes. So I am back and I have selected a few colours I am going to work with so far. So I'm going to use the Dalla and Rowney, which is a black ink, a Winsor & Newton white ink, 2 Pearlex powders. One is the antique silver, one is a turquoise, and then the final 2 blues. One is from SFXC, which is a sky blue pearl pigment, and the Soapery, which is ultramarine blue. So I am hoping I am going to have plenty of time to use all this and work with it without it me losing any and without dribbling. So I'm going to start with my black. Be very careful with how much resin I have on it and try to use it almost like a paintbrush. So I'm trying to balance out at the minute how light I go with this, because although I want it fairly thin, I don't want it that thin. I want it to be highly shiny resin. I want it to feel fairly organic. I'm trying not to overwork this, so I believe I am going to finish with the black now. Okay, leave the black, move on to the white. Actually, I think I might be best doing the white upside down, but live dangerously, Sharon. Silver. I made the right decision not putting too much resin out, but I still think I might have done slightly too much as it is. The only reason being it takes you a little while, or it takes me a while if I want to be this precise with the detail. Make sure I'm not going to get sloppy as I'm rushing against the resin. Don't want to ruin this beautiful piece. Oh, she says drippling. Hold the drips away, Sharon. I'm going to work on this evening. And I'm going to bring you in for a look before we continue on another day, but I am loving the composition, the effects and the colours. I am trying to make sure I do keep this quite restrained. I do want a lot of grey in there, but I do want to graduate the colours of blue, which makes me think I need to do one more round of blue colours, two more colours, so that they bleed into each other beautifully before I then work on the lighter side that's at this stage. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to work on So this is where I'm leaving it this evening. You're not really going to be able to see with the light reflecting, but there's some beautiful gradients of blue. I'm really loving this. Just need to come through with some more deep blue here and then work on the other side, which will have the lighter blues, and maybe give it a coat of resin and then see what that means. Do I need to do another coat, or am I really happy with the greys and the blues, which currently I really am. Some beautiful different shades. That black and that silver. Really worked well. See ya next time I'm out here. and I am going to, one, appreciate this beautiful piece of art, but go in with some darker pieces here, maybe some silver gold leafing, and then flip it the other way and start to build up the top area some lighter shades. So at this point I still don't have an end result. Oh, there's my Faye. She looks very green at the side of all the blue. I'm just going to keep working very slowly. There's a lot of detail work in here where resin is literally being dripped off and down here to let it all graduate into each other. But I'm just going to keep working through it, and as I work through it, then I'll start to understand where it is that this beautiful piece of work is going to be. So enjoy me. I'm sorry I'm not going to be talking much in these videos. It just takes a lot of concentration to make sure I don't ruin it. I'm so sorry, my video stopped recording on my phone because I was over my storage limit. So I've just had to flick it on. So you just missed me putting some of the blue back here. I've flipped it around and I'm now going to go back and add my silver to this part here. So yeah, let's continue this. So I am back. I've just got home from work. I am chasing the daylight, but I should have enough to, got a hair in there, do my final piece on this. Basically I added a tiny little bit of resin, but I had to stop it because the other resin was wet and I didn't want it to bleed too much. So I'm just going to sand it down, apply a thin piece of resin all over, and then that's it. And I believe this piece is well and truly done. So yay, join me as we finish this, and then I can create the video and share with you all. Okay, so this one is done. I have just added a final coat of resin just to level it all, give it that shine and take away any imperfections. So I am going to wrap this one up and say this is a thumbs up. Absolutely love some of the gradients that you get in some of the textures. I love how this clear shows through the blue with the, oh, can't focus on it, the gold leaf. There we go. It almost has like a mirror effect, and I am zooming in on the wrong piece. There we go. The mirror effects there, it shines through. So I am definitely thinking of doing something with that as a separate project. I will see how it dries and just check I'm 100% happy that I don't want to add a tiny little layer on top of this layer without overworking it, but I will sleep on it and see what I think, and I will share photos with you. Have the most amazing evening, and just remember, thumbs up, subscribe, comments, always welcome. Hi, welcome back to Sharon from Vivid Days. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see this okay with the light. I am just having to bring this one into one of my rooms because I'm going to be working on a couple of big pieces today, and I don't have drying space in my tiny little studio. So I've set this all up, protecting the table, making sure I protect the floor. It's really just the detail work I'm doing, and I've sat and waited on this for days, well, weeks actually, because it just doesn't feel right or finished and there's no pop. So I put it out on my Facebook page and I asked for feedback. Some people mentioned they want silver for that tiny little pop, so I have found a way to brought in some silver, and I'm not too sure if you're going to be able to see it here, but here I have found some old paper that was really thick, and it almost has this holographic round silver mirror type effect. So I'm going to put a few of those on, much to my partner's disgust and dismay, but I really like it. Originally I put a lot on, I've taken it back, but I think there is a few lines that I want to keep, and I'm going to put in I'm going to add some more orange or make it more vibrant. And the risky thing to me is I'm going to put clear resin on, but I'm going to put a tiny little bit of white resin here. I'm going to blow it over. And that's actually going to either destroy it or make it pop or just add that other dimension to it. But that's what I'm feeling. I don't want it to be a solid white. I just want it to look like it's rippling over the top of it. Because to me it's all about connection, order, these beautiful colours and different shades that we've got. And I think the white thing is going to represent either that little bit of ripples that we have in our world or that little bit of chaos, but don't expect the expected. Expect the unexpected from Sharon. So fingers crossed, let's hope the resins are good with me. I'll keep it playing, I'll fast forward it all through so you don't watch this, but I do want you to see the whole journey I've taken with this and realise that sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I just work with something, wait until it speaks to me and take it. And sometimes we take risks and those risks pay off, and sometimes we take risks and you think, holy moly, no, that's not good. But the worst that can happen is I paint over it. I have wasted resin and I hate doing that, but you never waste it if you're learning. And there's been so many learns along the way. There's been so many parts along this journey where I wish I'd have either stopped or left that piece like that but then continued on. So yeah, this is another one for me and I'm just going to go with it. So yeah, let's get this started. So I will fast forward from here. So I'm going to come in with my Mastercast 1-to-1 using the last of this, and then I'm going to try a different brand and see how I work with that. I'm just going to mix up 300 ml maximum, apply that, and that should bring it all together. So yeah, I'm going to get on with this. It should be quick. I'm contemplating putting that white to the side. Got my heat gun ready. Bit nervous about it, but we'll see how we go. Okay, level it off. I can live with that. You don't take risks, you don't come across something pretty amazing, or push the boundaries. So definitely should have just left it all clear, but I think I've rescued it. I just need to put my gloves on to get my hands in and level it, get out any bits of debris from that train wreck. So this is it. I've just finished working on it. I think I've managed to salvage it. There is just a little bit of that white over this way. You'll be able to see it just streaking, but it's not enough to, I don't believe, totally ruin it. So I'm just going to let it cure overnight and see how I feel about it. But on the whole, it's been an interesting project working on this. I've enjoyed the detail. I've enjoyed working a little bit more abstract. I've enjoyed finding ways to make the blue pop with the silver and the orange. I've enjoyed experimenting with the white here, but glad I managed to salvage and get most of it off. But I think this one's done, so I am going to finish with it. Take some photos when it's fully dried for you, but I'll hang it up and then see how I feel and see what comments I get on it. If you like my art, thumbs up, subscribe. Comments are always welcome, and feel free to share. Have the most wonderful evening.